These members of Congress, this doctor, this airline pilot, this hospital technician, this housewife, this college student, all have one thing in mind. They've joined a flying club to enjoy the benefits of safe, less expensive flying. As a member of a flying club, this Murfreesboro, Tennessee businessman, and thousands like him across the country, uses the club plane for business, since it isn't practical or economical for him to buy his own aircraft. This college professor belongs to the same club and shares the same plane along with 11 other members. How does a flying club work? How do you get one started? President of the Mid-10 Flying Club of Murfreesboro, Paul Ducker, tells why they organized their club.
Well, I think the reason we formed our club is best stated in our Constitution. It reads, to stimulate and encourage interest in aviation and to advance the knowledge of our members in aeronautical and other related subjects, to provide an opportunity for our members to fly aircraft economically and conveniently, to do all the things necessary in the operation of the club to accomplish our principal objective. We decided it would be best to start with a small group. There were 5 of us, and we think our experience shows this a good workable number of people. There is so much to be decided, and a small group can get things accomplished much easier and quicker. Our first step was to draw up the Constitution of the club. We sent away to other clubs for copies of theirs, studied them, took what we thought was best from each, and added some ideas of our own. We then checked with an attorney to make sure the Constitution was properly drawn. We also had him file papers of incorporation for the club. He strongly urged this to limit the liability of the individual members. We would recommend to others forming a club that it is a good idea to interest an attorney in becoming an original member. He can be a great help in the organizing stages. Then came the most interesting job, the selection of our plane. We decided we would rather own our plane than lease one. Here again, a small group made the job much easier.
But even in a small club such as the Mid-10 Club, there was bound to be more than one viewpoint about the type of plane they should buy. They shopped around, read about various planes, talked to salesmen, looked at equipment, and talked to the fixed base operator before they finally decided on a plane that was right for their use. After the club business meeting, the pilot instructor runs a program of aviation instruction. Some of the members are learning instrument navigation, and others who are already certified are brushing up on the subject. Behind all the flying activity of any club, there must be a great deal of work on the ground. Work by dependable, capable, and dedicated people. Mid-10 is fortunate to have an A&P mechanic as a member. The fixed base operator can also be very helpful. Here are the views of Miller Lanier, who operates the Murfreesboro Airport.
We helped to organize the Mid-10 Flying Club because we feel that the existence of a good, well-organized, and well-run club is an asset for the airport, the community, and for aviation in general. Members of a well-regulated club are, on the average, better and safer flyers, a credit to private aviation. I have one caution for clubs that are just starting out. Their savings in the cost of flying should be looked for in maximum utilization of their aircraft, more flying time, not in cut-rate services and material. Many things that appear to be bargains, cut-rate maintenance, second-hand parts, are no savings at all. Often these savings are made at the risk of accidents due to faulty equipment. In the case of the Mid-10 Club, we continue to advise them and handle the scheduling of their planes. it is easier for one of us to do it than one of the members.
The treasurer of the Mid-10 Flying Club, Lloyd Evans, has this to say about his activity.
My responsibility as treasurer of the club is to pay the bills, bill the members at the end of the month for their flying time, and to keep the records and books of the operation. I spend about 20 hours a month doing my job. Our records show that we can fly more economically as members of a club. Our initiation fee is $100, which is refundable by a vote of the board of directors if a member leaves. Our monthly dues are $15, and our hourly rate is $8, including gasoline for members who have a pilot's license. One thing that has helped us is that the fixed-base operator has at times rented our plane when it wasn't scheduled. For example, last month, he rented our plane for approximately 45 hours. This gives us greater utilization of the plane, which is the only realistic way a club can reduce flying cost. When we started, the fixed-base operator helped us formulate our regulations. And by his endorsement, the club has been able to get excellent insurance coverage at a very attractive premium.
In California, at the Hollywood Burbank Airport, is one of the oldest and largest flying clubs in America, the Sky Roamers. The flight coordinator for the club is Bonnie James.
When the Sky Roamers started 21 years ago, there were 10 members who owned one airplane. Today we have over 300 members and 34 planes of various types to satisfy the needs of our members. Since 1946, our planes have flown over 25 million miles. Our yearly average is 2 million miles, and our airplanes cover some 10,000 miles per day. We are a non-profit club, and our members are primarily business and professional men and women who fly to conduct their business. In a club of this size, our control must be constant and effective. Our chief pilot is the man most involved with flight control. If he has any doubts about a member's proficiency, he checks him out and decides whether the member shall fly or if he needs further training. Wives of our members have also become interested in flying. Some are taking ground instruction and becoming familiar with the aircraft. Others have obtained their pilot's license or are working towards it. We've had considerable success and experience over the years in getting new members. In a club our size, there is, of course, a turnover. For clubs just starting, the best route is publicity. Report activities to the local newspaper and to company publications. Make announcements at meetings of other organizations and post notices on bulletin boards at the place of business of members. Talk about the flying club. There are people all over who don't know about this route to learning to fly, and many of them will be interested in hearing about a club. Be careful, however, to admit only members of the types that will abide by flight rules. One irresponsible member can ruin a club. One of the checks we make on prospective members is to obtain their driving record. A careless, unsafe automobile driver is likely to be a bad risk in your club's plane. Through publicity and word of mouth, a new club can get enough members who want to enjoy safe, less expensive flying.
This is a Mustang, famed P-51 fighter plane of World War II. Based at Van Nuys, California, it's owned by a club consisting of 4 airline pilots, 3 doctors, 2 engineers, and this man, president of the club, attorney Bob Guilford. This unique club is proof that even a light plane pilot, when properly trained and supervised, can advance to flying this hot airplane. Flying records of potential members are carefully examined. New members are trained and flight checked in this advanced trainer before stepping up to the Mustang. This converted fighter plane satisfies the members' yearning to fly over the California countryside in their spare time. Congressmen recognize the value of flying clubs. They say they could not cover the area they serve, helping constituents, learning what the folks at home are doing and saying without the flexible low cost of flying. Senator Jennings Randolph of West Virginia and Representative Don Clausen of California ready the Congressional Flying Club plane for takeoff. These members of Congress look on the airplane as a transportation tool that helps them keep a close link with the people they serve. The University of Texas in Austin is the home of one of the nation's most successful and active university-affiliated flying clubs. It's an example of a well-run club with a fine safety record and an excellent example of community cooperation. The director of the Longhorn Flying Club is Bob Crutchfield.
We here at the University of Texas estimate that we've helped to form some 200 new clubs in this country. People who want to start a club write us for copies of our Constitution, bylaws, and flying regulations, and many have come to visit us to see firsthand how we operate. We're a tax-free, non-profit organization, and, as a result, get rebates on our state and federal gasoline taxes. Our insurance coverage is excellent, and our rates are good. We're now a large club with approximately 600 members in Austin, 400 of which are university students and faculty. We pay a $60 initiation fee with students and faculty joining for half price. Our members fly for as little as $6.60 an hour, including gasoline, and pay only $7.50 monthly dues. How can we offer flying at such a low rate? Well, we found that the key to a successful flying club is right in our flying regulations and the enforcement of these regulations. A pilot who follows our regulations is a safe pilot. This means our equipment will be used properly and safely, bringing down our maintenance and insurance costs. It means that our planes are in the air instead of in the shop.
Even though initially the club's membership was limited to university students and faculty, the demand for membership was so great that a non-university affiliated club was formed, the Longhorn Aero Club. The club membership has expanded to over 2,800 members, with more than 150 aircraft located at more than 20 airports in several states. With a large number of members and planes, strict control must be exercised in order to have everything run smoothly and have planes available. When one of the members wants to fly, he makes his reservation by calling the flight desk. The reservation is then entered on the schedule. Each member is responsible for seeing that his medical certificate and pilot certificate are up to date and carried with him on each flight. If a member isn't current, he just isn't permitted to fly. If a member does not fly for a 90-day period, he must take a check ride with a flight instructor with at least one check ride per year. This ensures him and the club that he's current on new developments and that he isn't falling into any bad or careless habits in piloting the plane. Because so many of the members are student pilots, a special ground school is operated at each location. This assures them that they're developing good, safe pilots as members. It also gives licensed members an opportunity to brush up on aviation subjects, keep up to date, and increase their knowledge of flying. Another vital area is the maintenance of equipment. When a plane isn't functioning properly, it costs the club money just sitting on the ground. Even the smallest problem reported by a member is attended to immediately. 100-hour checks are conducted on time to make certain their planes are in the best possible condition. Mayor Harry Aiken of Austin is a member and frequently drops by the airport and checks on all phases of operation. Because they utilize their airplanes to such a high degree, they're able to amortize and replace equipment with new planes regularly. Keeping the Longhorn planes aloft is one of the jobs of Ragsdale Aviation. Company Vice President Kenneth G. Cox gives us his opinion on flying clubs.
We know that a good club on our field is good business, so we encourage formation of well-organized clubs and cooperate with them in every way possible. An efficiently run small club tends to grow, to acquire more members and more planes, and to increase its activity. Poorly run clubs almost always have a short, chaotic life. So it is to our advantage to help them get started properly and stay in operation. We feel that when a club pilot goes out on a cross-country trip, we're helping to send business to other fixed-base operators. We hope they, too, are encouraging club activity so that some of the members flying from their airport will stop here for service. A well-run club is more economical and a safe way for new pilots to learn how to fly.
Also interested in the Longhorn Aero Club is Austin's Director of Aviation, Colonel Vance Murphy.
The City of Austin recognizes the requirement for more of our citizens to become active in aviation. The Longhorn Club meets this need by providing both basic and advanced flight training. In addition, our municipal airport is financed by aviation revenues. The flying activity generated by the Longhorn Club has made a good contribution to this revenue, helping to support our airport and to keep our facilities up to date. A good club on any airport helps to stimulate more interest in flying and in flight safety. This means more pilots, more planes, and increased business on the airport. We want to see people enjoy flying when it is conducted in the manner typical of the Longhorn Club. I'm a member, and I enjoy it, too.
The first bank to finance a plane for the Longhorn Flying Club was the American National Bank in Austin. Arch Adams, the executive vice president, gives his views on the Longhorn Club.
Financing is often a problem for a new club. When the Longhorn Club comes to us for financing, we know they are a responsible organization. Their strong management was evident to us in the beginning, and this was the prime consideration for us to make the first loan. Their fine safety record, the fact they are well organized, well controlled, makes them a good credit risk. We're happy to work with them, and we know they've been a constructive force in the community. My son and I are both members.
Flying clubs have prospered on other university campuses throughout the country. This is the annual Air Meet and Conference of the National Intercollegiate Flying Association, held in Boulder, Colorado. Some 50 clubs from all over the country gather to participate in meetings and seminars. There's stiff competition in navigation. And university club members also compete in such events as power-off and power-on precision landing. There are over 300 university and college flying clubs that belong to the National Intercollegiate Flying Association. Each year, trophies are awarded to outstanding pilots on the basis of flying performance. The top college team is also selected at the annual 3-day event. Skill, safety, education, and sport are the objectives of the organization. Club members range from commercial pilots to those who are just learning to fly, either through courses at their college or during their spare time. Along with hundreds of other successful clubs across the country, joining or forming a flying club can provide safe, economical flying. For those willing to put forth the effort to properly organize a club, for those willing to learn from the experience of many successful flying clubs around the country, the skies can provide a setting for flight education and a quick, convenient route to both business activity and pleasure with maximum safety.